universal means all religions meld into one. Everybody's the same. Everybody's kind. And you know, it really gives me a headache when I hear that, because Judaism is such a magnificent religion, Michael, as you well know, and a religion that everything comes from, everything is based on. And we have a tremendous amount of non-Jewish listeners to the program. And yesterday or the day before, I read an article direct from WorldNet Daily about Roseanne, you know, Roseanne Barr, who was being considered for The View. And so, of course, she wants publicity for her cause. So she said something to the effect that I am a Kabbalist, and she called Israel a ghettoized, she didn't believe in Zionism and a whole slew of things. And she also said she's a Jew, but she follows Jesus Christ. So right away I got calls from people. And, you know, Kabbalah that I know does not, it doesn't go along with that. It's a Jewish organization, regardless of whether it's universal in thought as well. But this woman was very warm and very friendly, but asked me, why don't you want to follow Jesus Christ? Why are you upset? I said, I'm not upset, but that's not what I do. So can you explain that to someone who's listening who's non-Jewish?
Well, non-Jews can follow other gods. They can follow the Elohim. They can follow the powers that they choose. It is wrong for Israel to do this, because our ancestors tell us we're not to do that. We should know better after Egypt, after all that we've been through. But they can do it, and they can still be good people. The people that I'm talking to, the psychiatrist is a Buddhist. This other fellow, who's a brilliant fellow, believes in Jesus. They just believe that, and those are their own ways to reach the Elohim. But they believe in the truth of Judaism. They believe that the Jewish people are a special holy force for good in the world. And if you just look at the statistics, you can't avoid that. Roseanne Barr herself is a Jewish person. This Kabbalistic movement that's so powerful, it is not a Jewish movement, but it is full of Jewish people who've moved it along. New Age, too.
It started off as a Jewish movement. It practiced all of the laws of Judaism. We celebrated the Sabbath after, but when it became sort of a universal, I bowed out. I was gone. Okay, because I want to practice my Jewish faith, and I want to continue it.
Right. Yeah, well, it's like Christianity started out as a Jewish movement. For that matter, the Jesuits couldn't have come into being except for Ignatius Loyola's sidekick, the Secretary General, who was Jewish. You know, the founder of the Shiite movement was a Jewish fellow. I mean, you see this all over history, and again, and not just in economics, and not just in Hollywood. You see something happening here that points to God, that points to Torah as the real thing. The Rainbow Covenant quotes these great scholars of times past and present, saying that the Jewish religion and the Jewish scriptures were the only scriptures and religion held in ever greater regard the more that they were known. We live in a time when people are not learning the Bible in school, from their mother's milk, at their dinner tables. They don't even have dinner tables anymore. So they don't know the Bible, which is the greatest source of information we have going. They don't know the Bible. Islam and the history of the 20th century both have given religion a bad name, and they don't know Judaism. And when they do hear about Judaism, they hear about it from folks who disbelieve in it. The conservative movement has been very hard on Judaism.
Who isn't hard on Judaism? Because it's unknown to people, because it seems like a foreign entity, then that's the reason to hate and despise and not understand. You said it. That probably is the reason, because they don't know.
They need to get the here I'm plugging my book, but they need to get the Rainbow Covenant and find out how this system works, how it's tied together, how it's integrated into a large, world-conquering and I mean that in the best sense, revolutionary movement to make people better, to give people more freedom, more autonomy. You know, there's no Jewish master race stuff in any of this. People, you know, the Arabs are constantly thinking that they're going to, you know, that's what's going on here. The Arabs, the Muslims, need these universal laws. In fact, as they're violating the universal laws by sending their children out to blow up themselves and as many children and women and civilians as possible, they more than anybody need to know what are these universal laws that are at the very core of Judaism and the Bible. This thing that they're calling just another religion or a nationalist, you know, Roseanne Barr, our good Jewish girl, who's very typically Jewish. She hates her religion, and misrepresents it.
Well, it's unfortunate that people don't understand. I mean, it takes a long time, but it is worth the read. It's worth the time. Anyway, we've had a lot of time today, so I appreciate all the information you've given us. The name of the book is called The Rainbow Covenant. Pick up a copy of it. And Michael and Rabbi Katz and Jack Saunders will be on our open line show next Thursday to answer any of the questions that you might have. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
My pleasure.
Michael Dallen. Bye. The Rainbow Covenant with Dr. Michael Dallen has been made possible by First Covenant Foundation. Online, rainbowcovenant.org, firstcovenant.com, or call 1-313-891-1920.